welcome to the Spartan Investor Conference 2025. I'm Jane King, and we are talking today with Jonathan Miller, Vice President of Investor Relations at US Antimony. So I've been curious about learning about, explain what US Antimony is doing, and what is antimony?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Jane. I appreciate the interview. Antimony is actually a critical mineral deemed by the Department of Interior and the Department of Defense. DoD actually has a list of 17 critical minerals that it prioritizes, and antimony's at the top because of its versatility in so many different applications. In defense, it's used to harden lead in bullets, so every bullet in the world contains antimony. It's able to withstand heat and expansion, allowing the projectile to travel down the barrel. It's also used especially in armor-piercing rounds, penetrating rounds. It's used in the primers, which ignites the gunpowder in the bullets. It's used in artillery shells, laser-guided missiles, night vision goggles, and binoculars, aircraft carriers, fighter jets, and the list goes on and on. Believe it or not, defense only accounts for about 30% use. The other 70% is all industrial, so everything from automobile and aircraft seat covers because of its ability to withstand flames as a flame retardant. It's used in lead-acid batteries, so every battery, whether in a car or in a boat, has antimony in it. Lithium-ion batteries, liquid metal batteries, which are still new to market, wind turbines, solar panels to create the high-quality glass in solar panels, and it's used in different friction materials. And so there are thousands of uses for antimony that we're learning more about every day.
Absolutely fascinating. And this is such a hot geopolitical issue right now. I guess it's a rare earth, a mineral, and of course China controls, was it 70% of the U.S. of the supply chain for rare earth minerals. So there's been this big effort in the U.S. to mine more, to produce more. And you're in Dallas. Is that where you do the mining, or where do you? Okay, explain all of that.
Sure. So as it stands today, United States Antimony is the only permitted miner and producer of antimony products in North America, but also in the Western Hemisphere. The EPA shut down everything in the 80s, and so when we reopened our mine in Thompson Falls, Montana, where our smelter is, we have a mine called Stibnite Hill that was built just adjacent to the facility, and we reopened that in October and started trucking material off the mountain. So that makes us the first company in 40 years to mine antimony domestically in the United States. And we've also leased 30,000 acres up in Alaska of historic antimony claims, going back to the gold rush, where gold miners were looking for gold, found antimony, and logged it with the Geological Society. So when China made this announcement that they were cutting off the global supply and exports to the United States last year, we rushed up to Alaska and started staking claims. And we also started having conversations with the Department of Defense, which is now the Department of War. And since then, we've announced a award, a contract with the Defense Logistics Agency, or DLA, for a $245 million sole source IDIQ contract to supply them with antimony metal ingots. It's like a gold bar, but antimony. And they procure these minerals for the various branches of the military. So if you go and look at their documents, it says United States Antimony is the only one capable of fulfilling this order. So we announced the first $10 million delivery of that order last month, and we anticipate to be able to fulfill that as quickly as possible. We know the national inventory is the lowest it's been since World War II.
Okay.
And so we anticipate that there could be future orders as soon as we are able to fulfill this one.
Well, it does feel like the government is like working at warp speed, playing catch up. You and I talked, I've been hearing people talk about these rare earths for at least 15 years, but we just now feel like it's getting serious about this, that we know we have to do something. And why do you think there has been such a slow reaction to this?
Yeah, absolutely. So there is a distinction between the critical minerals and the rare earths. The critical minerals, different applications than the rare earths. And the reason why there's such a rush now is because the sector has been completely underinvested for 20 years. The EPA shut down a lot of mining operations, and we were completely dependent on foreign exports, mainly from China. Anybody who knows their geopolitical strategy knows that they have a plan called the 100-year marathon to be a global superpower by 2031. So they've been strategically going out around the world for 20, 30 years, consolidating these critical minerals by building ports and infrastructure to gain access to them, and then flooding the market with cheap commodities. And then they pulled the rug out from under us when we were most vulnerable, and they knew that. It was strategic. It's essential. It's the equivalent to the queen on the chessboard. Antimony is a linchpin in defense, industrial, and technology applications, and so This was very strategic, and there had been conversations over the last few days about Trump negotiating with China on bringing some of these back online. They announced that they would be exporting some silver and antimony and tungsten, but what the Chinese Ministry of Commerce says that they're actually tightening export restrictions, and so it's a little bit different from what the White House is stating. It almost looks like an open, export again, but that's not the case. They've tightened exports, and the exports that they will be sending will be very stringently monitored, and we don't know who the end buyers will be or how much they'll be able to have. China's gone from being a net exporter to a net importer. Their exports have dwindled month over month. The largest mine in the world in China.
Antimony?
In antimony.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've shut down 20 of their 30 operating facilities, and the Twinkle Star mine is the largest antimony-specific mine in the world. It's been running for 125 years. That resource is depleting. So when we're out in the global market looking for procurements of third-party material, we're competing with China, and we've actually seen them in bidding wars with us in some materials. So.
Okay. So quickly, you're publicly traded. How can somebody follow the company?
Correct. Yeah, you can go to our website, usantimony.com. We're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange and on the New York Stock Exchange Texas Exchange. And you can go to our website, you can go to our X, our social media account is regularly updated throughout the week, as well as LinkedIn, and we're building out some more content to build out our exposure across the networks.
Jonathan, thank you so much.